Welcome to Regal Achievers Educational Limited, presenting Royal Tutor, trusted for brain-friendly and high-impact learning. Today, we embark on an exciting journey into the fascinating world of Gcse biology, exploring the core concepts of inheritance and variation. Get ready to unlock the secrets of how traits are passed down through generations and why every living organism is unique. Inheritance is the process by which genetic information is passed from parents to their offspring. It's why you might have your mother's eyes or your father's hair color. At the heart of inheritance are three key terms: chromosomes, genes, and alleles. Chromosomes are thread-like structures found in the nucleus of our cells, made of DNA. Genes are short sections of DNA that carry the instructions for specific characteristics, like eye color. And alleles are different versions of the same gene, for example, the allele for brown eyes versus the allele for blue eyes. When we talk about alleles, we often encounter the terms dominant and recessive. A dominant allele is one that is always expressed, even if only one copy is present. We typically represent dominant alleles with a capital letter, for example, B for brown eyes. A recessive allele, on the other hand, is only expressed if two copies are present, or if there is no dominant allele. Recessive alleles are represented by a lowercase letter, such as B for blue eyes. So, if you inherit a dominant brown eye allele and a recessive blue eye allele, you will have brown eyes. The combination of alleles an individual inherits for a particular gene determines whether they are homozygous or heterozygous. An individual is homozygous if they have two identical alleles for a gene, such as two dominant alleles, BB, or two recessive alleles, BB. If they have two different alleles for a gene, one dominant and one recessive, BB, they are said to be heterozygous. Understanding these terms is crucial for predicting how traits are passed on. These allele combinations lead us to the concepts of genotype and phenotype. The genotype refers to the actual set of alleles an organism has for a gene. For instance, BB for eye color is a genotype. The phenotype, however, is the observable physical characteristic or trait of an organism, which is determined by their genotype and environmental factors. So, while BB is the genotype, brown eyes would be the phenotype. The environment can also play a role. For example, a person's potential height is genetic, but their actual height can be influenced by their diet. To predict the possible genotypes and phenotypes of offspring from a genetic cross, we use a tool called a Punnett square. This diagram helps us visualize the combinations of alleles that offspring can inherit from their parents. For example, if both parents are heterozygous for eye color, BB, a Punnett square can show us the probability of their children having brown or blue eyes. It's a powerful tool for understanding genetic probabilities. Now, let's move on to variation. Variation refers to the differences between individuals of the same species. It's what makes each of us unique, from our fingerprints to our personalities. These differences can be due to two main factors: genetic variation and environmental variation. Understanding these sources of variation helps us appreciate the diversity of life on Earth. Genetic variation arises from differences in the genes inherited from parents. When gametes or sex cells from the mother and father fuse during fertilization, their genetic information combines, creating a unique set of chromosomes for the offspring. This shuffling of genes, along with occasional changes in DNA called mutations, leads to genetic diversity. Traits like eye color, blood group, and inherited disorders are primarily determined by genetic variation. In contrast to genetic variation, environmental variation is caused by external factors. These are differences that are not inherited and can change over an individual's lifetime. Examples include accents and languages learned from our surroundings, scars from accidents, or the way a plant grows taller and healthier with more light. These environmental influences play a significant role in shaping an organism's phenotype. It's important to remember that most characteristics are a result of the interaction between both genetic and environmental factors. Take human height, for example. Our genes determine our potential maximum height, but factors like nutrition and diet during growth can significantly influence whether we reach that full potential. Similarly, body weight and skin color are also influenced by a combination of our genetic makeup and our lifestyle and environment. Let's test your understanding with some Gcse style questions. Take a moment to think about your answers before I reveal them. Question 1. Explain the difference between genotype and phenotype. Use an example in your answer. Answer: genotype is the set of alleles an organism has, for example, BB. Phenotype is the physical trait shown, determined by the genotype and your environment, for example, brown eyes. The genotype BB means the person has one dominant and one recessive allele, making them heterozygous. The dominant B allele is expressed, so the phenotype is brown eyes. Question 2. What is variation? Give 2 examples of how variation can be caused. Answer: variation is the differences between individuals of a population. It can be caused by genetic factors, such as mutations or the combination of genes from parents during fertilization, and by environmental factors, such as diet, lifestyle, or exposure to sunlight. In summary, we've explored the fundamental principles of inheritance, understanding how genetic information is passed down through genes, alleles, and chromosomes. We've also delved into the fascinating concept of variation, recognizing that both genetic and environmental factors contribute to the unique characteristics of every living organism. We hope this presentation from Royal Tutor has provided you with a clear and impactful understanding of inheritance and variation. Thank you for joining Regal Achievers Educational Limited. Keep learning, keep achieving.